Hello everyone. In this video we'll talk about product to sum formulas, and let's go through these formulas together. So sine theta cosine beta, when I have sine of an angle multiply cosine of another angle, we're going to use this formula, which is 1/2 sine the sum of the two angles plus sine the difference of the two angles. And now when it comes to the cosine angle multiply the sine of the second angle, will be 1/2 multiply sine of the sum minus sine of the difference. Now when I have sine multiplying sine of two different angles, will be 1/2 cosine the difference of these angles minus the cosine of the sum of these two angles. Finally, cosine alpha plus cosine beta will be 1/2 cosine the sum of the angles plus cosine the difference between the angles. Now, what about sum to product formula? So, if I want to change between, if I have two angles, sine alpha plus sine beta, I could change it into a product between two, sine the sum between the angles divided by 2 multiplied cosine the difference between the angles divided by 2. And if I have sine alpha minus sine beta, it would be 2 cosine the sum over 2 multiplied sine the difference over 2. The addition between cosine alpha and cosine beta will be 2 cosine the sum divided by 2 cosine the difference divided by 2. Finally, cosine alpha minus cosine beta will be -2 sine the addition between the two angles divided by 2 multiply sine alpha minus beta divided by 2. Okay. So express each of the following products as a sum containing only sines or only cosines. So we are going to use here, because he said we are going to convert from multiplication to addition or subtraction. So we are going to use, I have cosine multiply cosine, so I'm going to use this formula. So cosine for theta multiply cosine 2 theta will be equal to 1/2 cosine the sum plus cosine the difference, which is equal 1/2 cosine 6 theta plus cosine 2 theta. Now for this question, sine 3 beta divided by 2, cosine beta divided by 2. Let's see which formula we are going to use. So sine multiply cosine, we're going to use this formula here, which is 1/2 sine the addition multiply plus sine the difference. So it will be 1/2 sine the addition plus sine the difference. And that's going to be 1/2 sine 3 beta divided by 2 plus beta over 2 is 2 beta. 3 beta over 2 minus beta over 2 will be beta. -2 sine multiplied sine. Sine multiplied sine, we are going to use this formula. So equal -2 the sum, the difference minus cosine the sum. Five theta minus theta is 4 theta. Six theta. Now I'm going to expand the negative Express each of the following sum or difference as a product of sine and cosine. Cosine x over 2 minus cosine 3x over 2. Let's see which formula we are going to use here. Cosine minus cosine will be this one here. So it will be negative 2 sine the sum over 2 multiply sine the difference over 2. So it will be negative 2 sine the sum all over 2 multiply sine the difference over 2, which is equal negative 2 sine 4x over 2, that will be 4x over 2 sine negative 2x over 2 over 2. Finally, that's going to be negative 2 sine x sine negative x over 2. Now here we need to remember that sine function is an odd function in which sine negative x equal negative sine x. Tangent also is an odd function. However, when it comes to cosine, it will be cosine x. It's an even function. So what does that mean? This is going to be sine negative sine x over 2. So will be, if I take the negative out, that will be negative, multiply this negative will be positive. And here we go. Finally, sine plus sine equal to sine and then cosine. Here we will add first. Here we will subtract. Tan theta over 2 cosine 4 theta, that's going to be equal to sine 5 theta over 2 cosine theta. That's everything for today's lesson. Please let me know if you have any question, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.